Wow, look on the screen. I believe the name of this thing is Sharice. Why is Sharice on the screen? You call yourself a woman. Oh, I want to say something, but I'm going to try and keep it. I'm not going to say what I really feel. She's an animal, in my opinion. An animal. Let me give some quick shout outs. Miss Fox, then Brown Foxy, Don Ward, appreciate you. Greenback, New Jersey. LaPrice, I see you. Belinda Parrish, Samantha Young, Bougie Auntie, Natasha Smeeg, and LaKendria Barnett. And anybody I may have missed, I've got I'm gonna try and get back to some old videos because wow, I'm a busy schedule. These phones ain't ringing for nothing. Anyway, why is this supposedly I'm going to call you subhuman because that is what you are? She's on the screen. As I say, the Dusties are protected, not the women. It's something in the BC is anti-women. Big time. Anti-women. And there's a lot of desperate women. You don't love yourself. They'll take anybody. So this is a couple who are accused of sex trafficking of young women, and 2 are in foster care. Let's go ahead and get to it. Fair use. Sorry.
New details this afternoon in a disturbing sex trafficking bust in the Bronx. A registered sex offender and his wife, who was a foster mother, appearing in court today, facing numerous charges, including forcing 2 of the foster children into prostitution.
Wow.
Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Charlesworth is live in Lower Manhattan, where the couple was just in court. Michelle?
So disturbing. And we don't know how old these young women are. 8 of them, 2 of them foster kids. We don't know how old, but it appears this 9-month investigation dug up all kinds of specific evidence, videos, messages, prostitution ads, all allegedly tied to this one couple. They both lived in the same Bronx apartment. He is a registered sex offender at that address, and she was a foster parent. And it was made clear in court that Child Services had that address, and they knew his history.
Wow.
Both in handcuffs. 38-year-old Kareem Mitchell and his wife, Sharice, 51, went into court.
You were doing this with foster children? Is that correct?
The Manhattan DA's office calls this a sex trafficking takedown that came after a 9-month investigation. In evidence, verbatim texts about prostitution, money records on Zelle, ads for prostitution on Instagram and Facebook, and specifics regarding hotels and cars where sex acts allegedly took place. Involved, 8 victims, all young women, 2 of them in foster care at the couple's apartment here in the Bronx. In court, both Kareem and Sharice Mitchell pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking and conspiracy charges, which, if convicted, carry up to a possible 100 years in prison for him and 75 years for her. Read in court, verbatim texts like "pop you in the face, get in the car" from just this morning, including expletives promising violence. Allegedly, fear and threats were a daily occurrence in messages, all reportedly in evidence. Most disturbing, Kareem Mitchell is a registered sex offender dating back to 2008.
Wow.
He served 5 years. His wife, Sharice, at exactly the same address in the Bronx, was able somehow to foster 2 young women who, according to what happened in court today, literally were recruited from the foster care system for sex trafficking and prostitution. Their ages were not given.
Do you have anything to say?
The charges span areas of New York, but alleged prostitution also took place in Connecticut and New Jersey. Charges against sex trafficking and conspiracy. If convicted, he could see 100 years. She could see 75. Both were called a flight risk today in court. No bail for the man, Kareem Mitchell. Millions in bail, which she is not expected to post for Sharice Mitchell.
So stop and think. This woman, so desperate, a sex offender, and that was her husband. Mammies hate women. This piece of crap. I wish they would both become hashtags. That would be fine with me. So imagine the children, you're in foster care. You're in foster care for a reason. And then they turn you into this. You don't think those girls are damaged? I went to school with a girl. We were in, wasn't quite junior high. And she wasn't doing well in school. Turns out she was being abused. She was being abused. And guess what? You ain't gonna believe this one. We attended the same church. I remember her one day, never forget it. She was getting her tray of food in the lunchroom, and she just dropped that tray and started crying. Just dropped it and just started screaming. Oh, I was a kid. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I just knew her from the church, And I just went to her, "You okay?" Just dropped, I never forget it. I remember it was yesterday. Dropped that tray and just started crying, screaming. No one had done anything to her. In the lunchroom, she ran away from home and she gave me a letter. So I read the letter and her father was abusing her. I took the letter. It scared me, the letter. I remember going home and I put it in my drawer. Just reading it scared me. It was pages. Because she explained what he was doing. And the mother knew and was in the choir. I gave the letter to my family, my parents. They confronted the family about it. I'm embarrassed to say I don't recall anybody calling the police. The mother denied the allegations. The other sisters, they believed it, and I'm just embarrassed to say they put out that she was a runaway, but best I can recall, they kind of kept that quiet. And it's just, I remember saying, what's going to happen? Oh, don't worry about it. It's grown folks' business. Grown folks' business. So I really, when our normal lives being kids, she was being abused. And she ended up running away with some Hispanic guy and had children. I do recall, my bad, I'm sorry. Yes, when she was reported as running away, the social worker came to the home. And from what I can remember, it's just lies. But hate to say it, the church folk protected that Negro. He didn't come to the church, but his wife did. And no one ostracized her. They were like, well, she said that ain't happening. The things that she said at that age, I will never forget. It terrified me. Just reading it, it scared me. I put it in my notebook and I took it home and put it in my drawer. And it was just he said, she said, and they're looking for him. But from what I can recall, I remember they're saying when she ran away, somebody came and visit the home. But I don't remember anybody trying to put him out there. He was more protected. And the wife stood beside her husband. Yeah. Some of the family, they believed the girl. Other family members that also went to the church. But they just counted up. I remember my mother said something crazy. She said, don't worry. That girl will need you more before you need her. And I'm thinking to myself, why would she need the mother? The girl said the mother knows about it. This man is performing sex acts. And at the time, I was very naive. It wasn't like today kids know about that. I just know, oh, this is bad. Reading it scared the hell out of me. I knew this was bad. The mother said it wasn't true. And pretty much that's what it was. And everybody just seemed to side with that mama. remember one of my aunts saying, the sisters think that is true. Yeah. So the black women are never believed. That's why I'm a champion for black women. Anybody against us that can go to hell, you can kick rocks. I don't give a crap about you. They are never, ever believed. They're not. They are not valued. We have been devalued for a long time. That's why Blackistan, leave me the hell alone. I'm done with Blackistan. I don't want to hear the bull crap. Done with Blackistan. But yeah. So imagine you're you're there for a reason, and then you're put into this. You are there for a reason, and you're put into this. And to think, just think, a sex offender, and she's still with him. Girl, are you that desperate for a husband? A husband is supposed to be a provider. Are you that desperate for a man? The man is sick. I hope all the inmates, I don't know where this is, but I hope all the inmates can see him. This is your boy. They need to see who it is. He is accused of trafficking young girls in foster care. And for the foster care worker, they don't give a darn. I bet, these girls are probably black. They don't give a darn if the foster workers don't. That person needs to be fired. And they also need to face some charges. You saw he was a sex offender and you let this go, trick? Are you serious? She needs to be beat upside her head. That's how angry this makes me. This on the screen, I hope all the inmates can see him, and he won't be getting bonds. So, this is crazy. They should both get life, as far as I'm concerned. That's why I'm gonna get to see the depravity. Women, you got a drug problem, whatever your issue is. Why the hell you having kids so they can see the same darn nightmare that you have? Just living your life loosely. I do not have any sympathy. Not only just for dust buckets, but for dustinas that put children here. And then, I couldn't handle it. I wasn't in my right mind. Well, which you knew that you could get pregnant. Why didn't you get that taken care of? I wasn't in my right mind. Just putting kids here, and then they're just left to the wolves. Go figure it out. Go stay over here. So this right here, it is heartbreaking. It makes me very, very, very angry. And this took 9 months. So if it took a 9-month investigation, those girls were all in the power all the time. 9 months. Putting them out for prostitution. Have you lost your... And it's nothing new. It does happen just to see it. And I thought about that case. This here, we live in a very sick world. It's going to get harder with the rents going up. People's lives, instability. The Dusties and the Dustinas are always on it. They are always on. If it's something evil, deadly, diabolical, they are truly on it. I wish I had a magic wand. We would probably have a lot less people doing this, especially in the BC, because, it's out of hand. But this happens every day. Women are not believed, but especially black women. This thing, a caseworker, you're supposed to check and still allow this to happen. Girl, whoever you were you getting in on it? I can't wrap my head around it. But like I said, I know in the BC generally, women and children are not valued. They are not valued. They're the most beat down. That's why I cannot for the life of me understand anybody who is in the hood, any young woman with any kind of brain. Why the hell would you get pregnant by a dust bucket knowing you're going to have to handle all this yourself? Why would you do that? I just can't understand. Oh, my baby, I just don't understand. Maybe it's hypnotic rhythm, which I've heard of that. I just can't relate to it. But this year, we definitely have a serious problem. And my heart just goes out to those girls. Because again, I am telling you, they could be screaming, running, and howling. When it comes to the BC, there's no value placed on them. You saw the story I did today about the woman whose cousin knocked her down the stairs. Now she's dead. Keep in mind, he done already gave out a beat down to somebody else on the job and said, I'm going to try and beat you to death. So what happened to her? All of a sudden, the family now, it's just tough love. Tough love. Him, I hope he gets life in prison. People love your children. If you don't want to have children, just please don't, because all you're doing is you're just bringing misery upon yourself. Just another life on the planet to be ruined and to live in a suffering way. This is ridiculous. It is darn ridiculous. The evil among us, this Dusty and his dust bucket wife. I hope when they put him in that cell, guards let him know why he's there. If he catch hell, hey, I'm there for it. Hashtag give them hell. I'm out.